I have recently been asked by a number of fellow coaches, how come so many of Sport Karate students are so flexible and have great kicking ability? It's simple, we have a systematic approach. We start off, unsurprisingly, with joint rotation and quickly move on to our standard training for warriors warm-up. The next stage in the process is to increase their heart rate, so we use some fun footwork drills to achieve this objective. We then focus on increasing specific relative strength. Remember, we have to be strong before we're flexible. Address general areas of weakness such as feet, groin, hip abductors, lower back, hip flexors, hamstrings and lower abs. Now that we're strong, we can move on to looking at specifically developing box splits flexibility. The rationale for focusing on this is simple. The highest percentage of kicks which we utilise requires this form of flexibility. The weakness of the abductors is the main obstacle to doing the box splits. Weak abductors tense very strongly when you try to spread your legs into the straddle stance. The stronger they are, the less tension, pain and resistance there will be spreading your legs all the way to the floor. Generally, the stronger the muscles, the less activity it is needed to support any given load. The pre-splits preparation is critical as we want to initially focus on inner thigh stretches. From the horse stance position, we tense the inside of the thighs as if squeezing the floor between their feet. Then relax and spread their legs further. We keep repeating this cycle of tension and relaxation for around a minute. Then get our students to go into what we call the gorilla position. Feet pointing forward, chest flat and head looking forward. This position tilts the pelvis forward, preparing the student to move into the box splits. Before we get them to move into the splits, we get them to change their hands from being closed into their fingers pointing to their heels with their arms shoulder width apart and 80% of the body weight on their arms. This is the final stage before we get them to slip into the splits. Slip out into the box splits, we get them to only move one leg out to the side with their feet still pointing forward. Once they can achieve this, we get them to put their chest on the floor and extend their arms in front of them. It is critical at every stage of flexibility development that the student concentrates on deep breathing to ensure adequate oxygen reaches their muscles. Once they can do the box splits with their toes pointing forward, we then ask them to turn their toes up to the ceiling. The pelvis will nearly be straight at this point, thighs rotated outwards and knees and feet pointing straight up. The last stage of the box splits development is when we get them to put a hand on the floor each side of their leg and lower their chest to their thigh while looking straight ahead. One last point that I must strongly emphasise is that you should never do partner stretching at any time, as it can cause injury. If you need someone to help you do a stretch, it means you're not ready for them. Now that we're flexible, developing the pre-kicking triangle position comes next. We start off our drill supported by a wall, moving on subsequently to balancing unsupported before finally throwing fresh air kicks. The partner drills which we perform allow our students to concentrate on the quality of their kicking technique primarily, while building endurance and muscle memory. In our kicking practice, we make learning fun and educational. Children learn more by play. In their eyes, the drills that they are taught are more like games. We play 2 standard games here at Sport Karate East, number of roundhouse kicks they can do before being busted, and the second game is a height competition. There is of course a plethora of other games that can be applied, but these 2 games are the cornerstone of our games program here. After doing fresh air kicking, we normally move on to focus mitt drills. Subsequently, we start to get them to target directly onto their training partner. Once this skill set has been developed, we introduce interactive speed drills. Finally, they should have the speed, control and good technique to deliver numerous kicks to their training partner without hurting him. This is the acid test. In the cool down, we tend to do some slow front and side lunges and isometric stretches. We have to firstly thank Michael Coulter for the way we kick at Sport Karate East nowadays. Michael was one of the best kickers of my generation. He inspired me to kick the way I do today. Michael's kicking was as fast and rapid as a machine gun and as accurate as a sniper. Thanks for inspiring me, Mick. The Sakai Karate Association's coaching staff would not be at the forefront of professional martial arts development here in Scotland without the dedication of Davey and Chris Coulter's continued pursuit of excellence. Their hunger and knowledge and subsequent ability to implement best-in-class practice while effectively communicating their experience and methodology to all Sakai students speaks for itself. Sakai over the years have produced numerous excellent athletes who have represented Scotland and Great Britain, and this continues to be one of our association's strategic objectives. So I hope that this video is of some value and allows you to have a little insight into how we prepare students for kicking practice here at Sport Karate East.